Hello, English learners. Welcome back. We are here at English Pod. I am joined with Erica.
And my partner in crime, Marco.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about a really great topic, one of my favorites.
Beer.
Beer. So beer is a very popular drink, especially in bars and when you go out.
Yes, it's very common with students, I think.
Yes. And it's also not very strong like a vodka or whiskey.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to be at a bar today, and we're going to be looking at some of this vocabulary that you would find.
Yes, I mean, you've got to know this beer vocabulary.
Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back and look at these words.
Hey man, what do you have on tap?
Heineken and Budweiser. We have a 2-for-1 happy hour special.
Cool. Give me a pint of Heineken and half a pint of Bud.
Okay. Pint of Heineken, half pint of Bud for table 6. What about some appetizers?
Sure. Let's have some nachos and mozzarella sticks.
Okay, that'll be $80.
What? What?
Well, it's pretty expensive for 2 beers and some food.
Yes. Well, it happens sometimes you go to these very exclusive bars and they charge you like if it was gold.
I mean, that's crazy.
Well, let's take a look at some of these great words that we saw in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Our first word is on tap.
On tap.
On tap.
So he asked, what do you have on tap? Now, this is a strange sentence. What exactly does it mean?
Okay, well, he's asking about what beers the bar has.
But not in a bottle or not in a can, right?
Right. So, you know, in a bar, there's often this machine, right, that will pour very fresh beer right directly into the glass.
Into the glass. Yeah, this is a very popular thing because, like you say, it's fresh beer.
Yeah, it tastes better.
It tastes better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have on tap?
What do you have on tap?
All right, let's take a look at our second word. Happy hour.
Happy hour.
Happy hour.
Happy hour.
Now, this is very common and popular with bars.
Yes.
What is it when they have a happy hour?
Okay, a happy hour is a period of time where the drinks are very cheap.
Okay, so happy hour could be from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m., 50% off.
So if the drink is $4, then it is now $2 in happy hour.
Perfect. And this brings us to our third word, a special.
A special.
A special.
A special.
So this is a noun, and what does it mean when a restaurant or a bar has a special?
It's like they're having a sale.
A sale.
So things are cheaper.
So it could be, for example, a Monday night special.
Or, like in the dialogue, a happy hour special.
Okay. So it is a promotion.
Yes.
All right, very good. And now they ordered a pint of Heineken and half a pint of Budweiser. Pint.
This is a very, very special beer word. So a pint is the size of your glass.
Okay, so we understand how much a pint is. What would be the equivalent in liters?
A pint is 0.4 liters.
Okay, so almost half a liter
Yeah.
is 1 pint.
Yes.
Okay. It is very common when you go into a bar, you can order a pint of beer.
Yes, exactly. In English, we don't say I'll have half a liter of beer.
Right. So let's take a look at our next word on Language Takeaway. Appetizers.
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 Okay, so what is an appetizer?
Well, it is food you eat before your dinner or before your lunch.
Okay, so it's usually maybe like a salad.
Or a soup or something small that you can eat right before your big meal.
Okay, so some common appetizers at a bar, and we saw them in our dialogue. Nachos and mozzarella sticks.
Nachos. Nachos.
Nachos.
Nachos.
So nachos are little chips, right?
Yeah, corn chips. And it has cheese and maybe some tomatoes and maybe some beans.
Uh-huh. Okay, so those are nachos. They're very common in the United States.
Yes, yeah.
And what about mozzarella sticks?
Mozzarella sticks, a travesty on the world and humanity and everyone's arteries.
Well, mozzarella is a cheese, right? Mm-hmm. Mozzarella cheese. And this cheese is, what is it? How is it prepared?
You put it in some breadcrumbs and then you fry it in oil. You deep fry it.
Uh-huh. And you don't like this?
No, this is terrible.
Why? They're so good.
Oh my God.
Because then you can dip it in a little sauce and it's delicious.
Marco, there are so many reasons why this is wrong.
All right, well, mozzarella sticks, a very popular bar food.
All right, well, why don't we listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be able to hear these words in context at a slower speed.
Hey man, what do you have on tap?
Heineken and Budweiser. We have a 2-for-1 happy hour special.
Cool. Give me a pint of Heineken and half a pint of Bud.
Okay. Pint of Heineken, half pint of Bud for table 6. What about some appetizers?
Sure. Let's have some nachos and mozzarella sticks.
Okay, that'll be $80.
What?
Okay, so we saw some really good vocabulary words there, and now let's take a look at putting it together.
Putting it together.
Well, in this lesson, we are going to look at one phrase that sometimes causes problems.
So let's listen to this phrase that we're talking about.
What about some appetizers? What about some appetizers?
Okay, so this phrase, what about?
Yeah, I often hear people use it to ask a question.
So a common mistake is asking, what about your weekend?
What about your new job?
Now, this is incorrect, right?
You cannot use the phrase what about to ask a question about information. So it cannot ask for information.
Okay, because in our dialogue, the bartender said, and what about some appetizers?
Right, because he is making a suggestion.
Right, so he's saying, well, why don't you have some food?
Yes, the phrase what about can be used to make a suggestion.
Okay, so I can say, what about going to the movies?
You know what? Let's hear a few more examples of this because I think it's really useful.
Example 1. What about these dirty clothes? You said you would wash them days ago. Example 2. What about going to the mall instead? I'm tired of going to the movies. Example 3. What about a pizza instead of noodles?
All right, so really good examples, and the same thing we can apply to how about.
Exactly. So again, how about cannot ask for information.
Okay.
So you can't say how about your boss.
All right,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, so let's listen to this dialogue one last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about bars and beers.
Hey man, what do you have on tap?
Heineken and Budweiser. We have a 2-for-1 happy hour special.
Cool. Give me a pint of Heineken and half a pint of Bud.
Okay. Pint of Heineken, half pint of Bud for table 6. What about some appetizers?
Sure. Let's have some nachos and mozzarella sticks.
Okay, that'll be $80.
What?
Well, Marco, I know you're a big fan of beer, and actually I think everyone here at Praxis is a big beer drinker.
And this is the perfect opportunity to tell everyone about the world-renowned beer shake.
Oh my God. Okay, Marco.
All right, so everyone that listens to this recipe is a non-believer. They say that it is not possible for it to taste good.
Okay.
But here's the recipe. You take a liter of beer, or maybe half a liter,
So a pint.
a pint or a pint and a half, and you put it in the blender.
Okay.
All right. Now you take 2 eggs.
Uh-huh.
Okay, not cooked, not boiled, anything. You take 2 eggs and put them in the blender. It could be 1 or 2.
Okay.
And then you take about half a cup of sugar, put it in the blender,
What?
and you mix all that together and you get this really good, foamy, delicious beer shake.
So a beer milkshake.
Well, it has no milk,
Okay.
but it's actually really good. I've prepared it for some people who are like, no, that's not possible. It can't taste good. And in the end, they're like, wow, this is actually pretty good.
So did you invent this recipe?
It's actually really common in Ecuador, in Peru. I've even seen it in Chile, usually with a dark beer,
Okay.
right?
So like a Guinness or...
it could be a Guinness or, yeah, if it's that, a dark beer is a little bit sweeter,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't add so much sugar. But if you have another beer like a lager or a stout, you could still do it, but just add a little bit more sugar because that beer is a little bit more bitter.
Okay. Well, I am not going to try this recipe, but maybe you guys are.
You should try it out and let me know how it works.
Yeah, you can tell us all about it on our website, englishpod.com.
Yeah, and we're definitely there to answer all your questions, and I'll be posting the recipe as well on the website.
All right. Well, we're out of time for today, but thanks for listening. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.
How to talk about beer like a pro. The limitless world of beer means a dizzying number of drink options are available at any given bar. From classic lagers to bold IPAs to funky sour alesh. Each type of beer spawns more subcategories than drinkers know what to do with. Draft beer menus at local watering holes have gone from offering a few standard brands to listing beverages that seem to come out of nowhere, and each beer tastes more complex than the last. Knowing what certain styles of beer taste and look like can make narrowing down a favorite a lot easier. The major difference between types of beer comes down to the type of yeast used to ferment it. A beer can qualify as either a lager or an ale, depending on the fermenting process. Alesh are created through top fermentation, a process in which yeast ferments at warmer temperatures and settles at the top of the beer. Yeast used to make lager tends to settle at the bottom of the beer, and the fermenting process is longer and takes place under cooler temperatures. The yeast in Alesh has a higher tolerance for alcohol than the yeast used in lagers. Beers start out as an ale or a lager, and their specific styles and flavors continue to evolve from there. Under the broad ale category, there are numerous types of beer, including Pale Alesh, India Pale Alesh, IPA, porters, stouts, and wheat and Belgian styles. Lagers encompass a range of styles, including the pale pilsners and German helles and the darker American lagers. Here's how to break down beer styles so you sound like a pro at the bar. What is lager? Lagers are a typical entry point into beer for new drinkers. Made with bottom fermenting yeast that has a lower tolerance to alcohol, lagers can taste light and a little malty. Classic lagers in America include Miller High Life, Coors, Budweiser, and Yuengling. And according to Jim Koch, the co-founder of Boston Beer Company, which makes Sam Adams beer, lagers are a great launching pad for newcomers to beer. They are clean, consistent, well-made, and not particularly challenging on the flavor, he said. It's not a bad place to start as you work your way up the flavor ladder. What is an IPA? India Pale Alesh, IPAs, which encompass numerous styles of beer, get their characteristics largely from hops and herbal, citrus, or fruity flavors. They can be bitter and contain high alcohol levels, though the final product depends on the variety of hops used. Some IPAs can taste like pure citrus, while others are strong and bitter. Prominent IPA styles include West Coast IPA, British IPA, and New England-style IPA. According to Bon Appetit, New England IPAs carry a fruity flavor with low bitterness, while the British style is maltier and bitter. West Coast IPAs appear to stand somewhere in the middle, with a balance between the fruitiness and bitterness. The best way to figure out your preference would be to figure out which IPA style goes best with your taste buds. According to Coke, IPAs are usually a beer drinker's first introduction to the world of craft beer. He suggests trying out a variety of IPA types before eventually settling on a couple of favorites. What is pale ale? Pale ales are usually hoppy, but carry a lower alcohol content than IPAs. Most types of pale ale, which can include American Amber Ale, American Pale Ale, Blonde Ale, and English Pale Ale, are malty, medium-bodied, and easy to drink. What is a Pilsner? Pilsners, which originate from the Czech Republic, fall under the lager category. German Pilsners give off a pale gold color and crisp flavor, while Czech Pilsners are a little darker with higher bitterness. What is a stout beer? A dark beer. The flavor of stouts depend on where they come from. Sweet stouts largely originate from Ireland and England and are known for their low bitterness. In fact, Ireland's Guinness brand produces some of the world's most recognizable stout beer. According to the Beer Judge Certification Program, BJCP, which ranks and evaluates all styles of beer, stouts are a sweet, full-bodied, slightly roasty ale that can suggest coffee and cream, or sweetened espresso. While the darker color of the beer gives the impression it's tough to drink, these stouts carry sweetness from unfermented sugars that offset any bitterness. Stouts produced in the U.S. combine the typical dark body and creamy notes with the hoppy bitter flavors characterized by American beers. American stouts are strong, highly roasted, bitter, and hoppy, with high malt flavors that give them the taste of coffee or dark chocolate, according to the BJCP. What is a porter? Traditional porters, which can trace their roots to the United Kingdom, are dark in color like stouts due to common ingredients like chocolate or other dark roasted malts. Porters tend to taste less like coffee than stouts, with more of a chocolatey feel. What is Belgian beer? Belgium's rich beer culture has poured into the U.S. over the years, giving enthusiasts on this side of the Atlantic a deep appreciation for the wide variety of Belgian-style flavors. Belgian beers span pale ales, dark ales, fruity beers, and sour ales. Webster & Store, which provides equipment and information for restaurants, bars, and other establishments, generally defines Belgian-style beers as carrying fruity, spicy, and sweet flavors with a high alcohol content and low bitterness. Popular Belgian beers also include Trappist ales, which are produced only at Trappist monasteries that brew their own beer. Trappist ales encompass beers like Belgian Dubbel, which is somewhat strong and complex, and Belgian Triple, which is pale, spicy, and dry. Blonde ales like Delirium Tremens further add to the strong flavor profile of Belgian beers. What is wheat beer? Wheat beers rely on wheat for the malt ingredient, which gives the beverage a light color and alcohol level that makes it perfect for kicking back with during the summer and for combining it with fruit, like a slice of lemon or orange. Some wheat beers, with their funky and tangy flavors, fall under Belgian-style brews, while the ones made in the U.S. have a light flavor that recalls bread. What is sour beer? Sour beer has shot up in popularity in the U.S. over the last few years, becoming an enticing beverage to people looking to branch out their beer palates or to those wanting to try something new. Highly tart, sour beers can take on many forms, including Belgian-style lambic beer, fruity Flanders ale, and lemony Berliner Weiss beer. With the addition of fruits like cherry, raspberry, or peach, sour beers marry sweet and sour to make beer flavors completely unlike the lagers and IPAs of Europe.